Hey everyone, ShadowDTV here, and we are coming back with part 4 of our look at Marvel Snap data mined cards. Of course, these are cards that haven't been released in the game yet, but through combing through the game's files, people are able to get access to these unreleased cards. I say like unreleased. Well, I guess they are technically not the final versions of the card. They could definitely change the power, the cost, the abilities, even the artwork. So I guess they are not final versions of the cards, but we're going to take a look at them. We've been doing it for a few weeks now, having a lot of fun checking these cards out and giving my sort of rating, I guess, out of 5 on how good I think these cards are. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment down below what you think some of the ratings I've given, if you believe that they are correct or if you have a differing opinion. You don't have to do all the cards, but maybe just pick, a couple that you have a difference of opinion than with me. And maybe tell me why you think they're a good or bad card, I guess. All right, let's get into it. So first up, we have She-Hulk. So She-Hulk is a 6-cost card. So we're playing this turn 6 generally. 10 power, but its ability costs 1 less for each unspent energy last turn. So I guess if you're playing this, I guess you can actually play this quite early. Let's say turn 3, you don't play anything. So turn 4, this would cost 3. It's pretty good. 3 power for a 3 cost for a 10 power card. But I guess it's, yeah, I guess you generally, I guess you need to waste a turn by not playing energy. You're probably not playing this till maybe turn 5, turn 4, depending on if you can make it any cheaper to play She-Hulk. I think the card's fine. I can't see any crazy synergies with anything else. It's kind of like a Sunspot sort of style card, but you guarantee that it's 10 power. Yeah, it's an interesting one. The artwork's really cool. I really like that artwork. Yeah, I'm not super sold on this card. I'm probably going to give it a 3 out of 5. I'm sure there's some scenarios where it could be really good, but yeah, 3 out of 5 for She-Hulk. We've got Shuri, 4 energy, 2 power card. On reveal, double the power of the next card you play. This is interesting. I'm trying to think of some synergies that come to mind. So you're playing this on turn 4. So turn 5, doubling the power of a card. A 5-cost card could be pretty good. Trying to think of anything that comes to mind. What's something that we want to boost its power, I guess? Turn 5. I mean, I guess it's just a overall generally good ability. I mean, if you've got if you can get something out with, a 8, 9, 10 power on turn 5, that's a pretty big numbers that you're putting up. So I actually think this is quite a good card. I can see a lot of uses for it in multiple decks. Nothing comes to mind straight away, but just that's a very powerful ability. It's late game. Yes, you've only got the 2 power there, so you're not getting any crazy like buffs or anything to Shuri itself, but the card is I think the card's pretty good. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 5. Silk, really cool artwork here. Yeah, that's actually really sick. It's like, I think it's upside down. I was just trying to figure it out. So yeah, so Silk is upside down, swinging through the city. So Silk is 2 energy, 5 power card. When anyone plays a card here, move this to another location. So it's a very interesting ability. I'm trying to think of a use for it. So someone plays a card there, this moves to another location. I guess I guess if an opponent plays a card there, yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm just thinking, like, if you play this at a location and then your opponent plays a card there, that would yeah, like they could play a really low power card there, move your Silk away, or if they play a really, like, I guess a middle sort of power card there, by moving Silk they can, I guess, kind of maybe guarantee that they win that location. Thinking of synergies, like in a move deck, I don't know how. I guess if you're playing a move deck, you would stop your opponent from playing cards there, because by Silk moving to the other 2 locations, there's going to be buffs to like Craven. Yeah, I guess maybe Silk is okay. I think it's definitely suited for a move deck. Can't really see any other synergies right now. 2 power for 5 cost is pretty good though. So I think in a move deck, it's quite strong. I'm going to give it a 3.5, I think. It's probably a 3, but I think that synergy with the move deck makes it a little bit better. So yeah, we're going to go 3.5 for Silk. Next up here, we've got Silver Sable. Really cool artwork there. Got the big sniper there. 2 energy, 6 power card. So good. Again, we're getting these low cost cards with high power. Silver Sable's ability, you can only play this at a location where you have 6 plus total power. Now that seems pretty easy to achieve. Like 6 plus total power, you can generally have that by turn 3 with most decks. I actually think this is a pretty good card. 6 power for a 2 energy is actually really good. I don't think there's really too much to say about that ability. You could slot this into a lot of decks. And it's just a low energy card for a pretty high power. I actually think Silver Sable is a pretty solid 4.5 to 5. I'm actually going to give Silver Sable a 5 just because of the versatility as well. Like, I can think of a number of decks. You could just throw this in there as your 2-drop, probably play it by turn 3, turn 4. And I guess even if you draw it late, it's just a free, like a 2 energy, 6 power card. You can kind of round out numbers on your later turns if you've got a lot of low energy cards. Yeah, I actually think that's quite a nice design. Silver Sable 5 out of 5. We've got Silver Samurai. We've got a 1 energy card here, 2 power. Silver Samurai. When this is discarded from your hand, draw a card. So it's interesting, I guess. Like I think of a discard deck, I guess, but I mean, if you're, I guess a one cost card with 2 power is fine. If you discard it, you're drawing a card. I'm thinking of things like, I guess Colleen would almost guarantee that you discard Silver Samurai, but it seems strange that you would discard a card just to draw. I guess you get some buffs to things like Morbius. I actually think it's okay in a discard deck. It can probably round out numbers. You can just have this there as a backup, but I also think of things like if you're playing a Swarm deck, you generally want to discard Swarm with Colleen, things like that. So having Silver Samurai in hand would just, you're giving up that Swarm ability for drawing a card, which, I don't know. When I think of it that way, I feel like Silver Samurai wouldn't be that great, but I guess there could be some discard synergies that make this a good card. I can't really see anything crazy right now, so I'm probably going to give Silver Samurai a 2 out of 5, I think. I guess if there was some synergies, some powerful synergies, I'd bump that up. But yeah, for now, I'm going to give Silver Samurai 2 out of 5. Another silver card, Silver Surfer. That artwork is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. I love the action poses in the Marvel Snap cards. 4 energy, 0 power. Usually, we get these interesting... Usually, 0 power means a very good ability. On reveal, double the power of all 6 cost cards, and then in brackets, wherever they are. So that's very important because even if you haven't drawn the card 6 cost yet, it's going to double its power. A very interesting ability. Something that comes to mind, I guess, would be like Apocalypse. Like that 8 to 16, getting that to 16 with Silver Surfer and then buffing it even more with your discards. Or actually, if you've already discarded it a number of times, say you get it to 16 power, that gets it to 32. That's pretty wild. And then I guess like if you have a Dracula, you don't even have to play that 6 cost card. Oh, that's pretty insane. I guess just like doubling the power of any 6 cost cards is going to be powerful in itself. Like a Magneto would go to like 24. Death would go to 24. Giganto would go to 28. Like that's pretty insane. Even just Hulk would go to like 22 power. But oh man, the synergy with Apocalypse sounds really nice. I mean, it's a bit of an interesting ability, but being able to play at turn 4 means you have turn 5 to do some shenanigans before that 6 cost card comes out. I guess if you're discounting 6 cost cards as well, playing one on turn 5 and turn 6 is pretty insane. Silver Surfer sounds like a fantastic card. Hopefully it stays with this ability. It'd be pretty amazing. It seems powerful. I'm giving Silver Surfer the big 5 out of 5 for sure. I really like that card design. Next up, we have Snow Guard. That is some really cool artwork. I really like that. You've got the spirit animals in the background. So it's a 1 energy card, 2 power. Snow Guard's ability. If you haven't played this by turn 3, transform into a random spirit animal. Now, I'm sure we'll be able to... It'll only be a few spirit animals. Generally, like you can swipe across in the game to see the locations or cards that this ability can create. I really like these sort of random these random ability sort of things. It makes me think of a game like Hearthstone. There's the animal companions, very similar, I guess, where you get a random animal companion. Here you're getting a random spirit animal. I actually like the design. It can add a bit of variance to the game. It can give you a spirit animal that could be really powerful for your situation. And then I guess there's also the caveat that you could get a spirit animal that doesn't help your current situation. I think I like just a little bit of randomness. I know I'm going to get a ton of people saying, yeah, but Marvel Snap already has so much RNG, so much randomness to the game. But I mean, you choose to play the cards, so you're accepting the randomness of Snow Guard. I think that the artwork's really, really beautiful. I actually think the ability doesn't like strike me as amazing or anything. And it also depends on what the spirit animals actually are. I'm actually just going to quickly look. Can I actually see what the spirit animals are yet? I don't think I can. So yeah, it really depends on what those spirit animals are. I'll have to do some research, see if those have been data mined yet. If they have, I'll follow that up in the next video. As it is, without knowing what the spirit animals are, I'm probably just going to give it a 2 out of 5. It's actually really hard to. It's actually take that. Don't really take that 2 out of 5 at face value. It's kind of hard to, I guess, judge a card without knowing the full extent of its ability. If the spirit animals are lackluster, then yeah, it's probably just a bad card. If there's, maybe like one spirit animal that's completely insane, I mean, this could be just a 5 out of 5. It's hard to tell, really. And then we've got Strife here. It's some cool artwork. I really like the artwork on Strife. This is a 3 energy card with 7 power. That's big power for a 3 cost. Strife's ability is if your opponent has 12 plus power here at the end of any turn, destroy this. Okay, so that's very important. It's pretty easy to get to 12 power at a single location. You're bringing this out turn 3 generally. I guess you could play it later. You could play it like a turn 5, 6. Don't give them the opportunity to destroy it. Maybe a turn 6 sort of play. I think if you're playing this on turn 3, it'll be pretty easy for your opponent to destroy it. It really seems like a late game card. Yeah, it's actually tough. I'm trying to think of like synergies for final turn. If you're playing this at 3 power, you're probably hoping to play another card at 3 power as well. Nothing really jumps out to me as like super strong. I mean, a 7 power card on the final turn as well as another card is pretty good. But I feel like playing this any earlier than the last turn will just result in it being destroyed. It's probably a 2 out of 5. I can see decks, or maybe a 3 out of 5, let's say. I could see decks that would actually run this as like an end turn, a final turn sort of play. But I mean, even then, if you play this on turn 6, and they just end up getting that location to 12, yeah, it still gets destroyed. So at the end of any turn. So I'm going to give Strife a 2 out of 5. I guess it could win you games, but it's going to be a bit of a guessing game on trying to win it. I guess you could lock down with certain cards. But yeah, even then, there's still ways to get cards into locations except for Professor X. You can still buff cards there. Yeah, Strife is probably a 2 out of 5, unfortunately. It's a cool idea, but I think 12 power is just too low of a number. I mean, there's decks that can get all 3 locations to above 12, which means this would just always die. So yeah, I think Strife we're going to give it's almost a 1 out of 5. I'll give it a 2 out of 5 just because it's pretty strong power. And if it does stick to the board, it's pretty good. But other than that, yeah, it doesn't strike me as a very powerful card. Alright guys, that's it for episode 4 of the Data Mined Marvel Snap cards. We've still got a ton to get through, so will definitely be a part 5, possibly even a part 6, depending how much we get through. Guys, I really hope you're enjoying this Data Mine series. It's really cool looking at future cards. I mean, when these cards come out, it'll be great to revisit these videos and see if anything's changed. But yeah, right now, it's just seeing all the artwork and stuff early and all the abilities and stuff. Again, these can change before they're fully released to the game, but it does excite me for the type of content and abilities that they're hoping to bring to the game. New deck ideas, things like that. Really, really exciting stuff. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Don't miss out on any Marvel Snap content here at ShadowDTV. We're having a ton of fun making these videos. I've been streaming some Marvel Snap. We've got the Infinite Snap podcast streamed live on Twitch every week, and of course comes to all of the podcasting platforms during the week. So make sure you go and check that out. That's it from me, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.